The 22nd Amendment doesn't say what you think it says. For years, you've probably heard that the 22nd Amendment to the United States Constitution says that someone can't serve for more than 2 terms as President of the United States. Historically, the 22nd Amendment was passed because of the concerns of the Congress and even of the President, Harry Truman, over how he had arisen during the terms of FDR to be President of the United States. There was a lot of concern that we not have a repeat performance where someone was elected to multiple terms as president, died in office, and left us in that kind of a situation. So the 22nd Amendment arose out of those concerns, but it doesn't actually say that someone can't serve more than 2 terms. Here's what it does say. No person shall be elected to the office of president more than twice, and no person who has held the office of president or acted as president for more than 2 years of a term to which some other person was elected shall be elected to the office of the president more than once. In other words, if a vice president takes over more than 2 years into the term of another president, they are only eligible to be elected 1 more time to the office of president. And if someone is just being elected without ever having served as president, they can only be elected twice. What it doesn't say, though, and this is tricky, is that they can't serve more than that number of times. The 12th Amendment gives us more information about how the electors cast their vote for president and vice president. And if someone is the vice president and is elected to that office, they can rise to the office of president. The 12th Amendment says that you can't rise to the office of president unless you are eligible to be president. And you can't also be elected to vice president unless you are eligible to be president. But it doesn't say you have to be eligible to be elected. In other words, and to make this simple, the 22nd Amendment leaves open a huge loophole that says that if you are elected to the office of vice president, the president can resign and you can take over. So in a situation, for example, where the nation wanted a 2-term past president to come back and be president again, that person could run as vice president with on a ticket where the president agrees that once elected, they're going to step aside in favor of the vice president. Similarly, a past 2-term president who would otherwise be ineligible to run again could become Speaker of the House and could be in the presidential succession line. Now, some people disagree with this. They say, well, that's not the spirit of the 22nd Amendment. That's not what they were trying to do. But nonetheless, that's what the text clearly allows. So perhaps we're going to have some kind of crazy constitutional crisis in the future where somebody takes advantage of this. But we think it's an interesting loophole there in the Constitution.